For the past few years, I've participated in the Three Rivers Homestead Pantry Challenge. Make sure you check out her channel and all of her Pantry Challenge videos. She cooks a lot from scratch and cans and preserves a lot more food than I do. I hope to get up to that point, but I am definitely not there yet. So she has a lot of actual recipe ideas and stuff in her videos, which I think are super awesome. I'm gonna be doing my video a little bit differently though. Basically for the Pantry Challenge, you make your own rules. This year, the only rule that I'm gonna have is to use up as much of everything in my pantry and my 2 freezers as possible by the end of February. So basically, I'm wanting to declutter my pantry and my freezers by using up the items. This will help me save money, cycle through all the old things I'm not using anymore, use up all of the things from last year's garden to get ready for this year's garden, and it also will help save on waste. Basically, this video is going to have a bunch of tips on how you can go into your own pantry and use up the items that you have. I'm gonna go into my own pantry and freezer and go through a bunch of different ideas, kind of like generic categories and some specific things on how to use up items that are in my pantry and maybe are in a lot of y'all's pantry. So go ahead, grab a pen and paper or open up the notes on your phone and go into your pantry and your freezer so we can do some meal planning. Oh, first I guess I'm gonna give you a little look at what my pantry looks like and then the 2 freezers that I have. So here is my pantry. I've got storage up top with a few different items there, and then I basically just have these bins that are really easy to pull out. This one is kind of like snacks and lunch items. These 2 are dinner items. This is bread, and I've got some baking stuff here, and then more baking stuff. This is my potato bin, and then snacks that the kids can reach. And then my husband built these shelves here to have cans and different smaller stuff. You got paper goods down there, and then oils and some other cooking stuff here. I did recently, well, I guess last year, get this little thing which has been really good for kids' snacks. Then here is the freezer that we have up here. I usually try to keep just snack, lunch, breakfast type stuff. And then we've got, popsicles and smoothie type things up here. And then we have a big stand-up freezer down here where I store the stuff that I've gotten from the garden and more dinner type stuff. And then I've got jams and stuff here in this door. Okay, so first thing that you're going to go into your pantry and see if you've got are some random pasta packages that just have a little bit of things, a little bit of noodles left in them because you used a recipe and it didn't call for the whole thing, and you have a little bit left and you don't really know what to do with it. So you're gonna have a pasta night where you're gonna cook up all the random pastas and either make a pasta sauce, bonus if you already have that and you need to use that up, or just get a pasta can or pasta sauce jar. Or if you already have it, then you can use that up for this. And then add a meat, like chicken or sausage or something, and a vegetable, and that is your meal, and you're going to be able to use up all your pasta sauce possibly, a meat if you have a meat in your freezer, and vegetables if you have canned or frozen vegetables to use. If not, go ahead and get those on your list at the grocery store. The next thing that you're going to go into your pantry or freezer and look for are things that you got and you used in a recipe, but you only used half of it. So I have got somehow I have 2 packets of open grits that I need to use up. So I'll probably do a shrimpy grits. We love that in my house. To use up those grits. And And then I also have this zesty Italian seasoning chicken packet thing that I used one of, and then I got the other one to use. So I'm going to be making just chicken with this seasoning packet on it. So those are two things that I'm going to be using up. Oh, and we got these other things here in the freezer for New Year's Eve, just some kind of like snacky type junk food things, and we only used half of the package because we got them from Sam's Club, so we'll be using that in a dinner to go ahead and use those up as well. Next kind of goes along with the one right before, but it's find something that you bought for a meal but you never actually made that meal. So first thing that comes to mind is this frozen salmon that I bought and never cooked in a dinner. So I'm going to be adding that to my meal planning for this next week. And then I also have this cream of wheat. I can't remember why I was going to use this, but I'll probably just go ahead and make it for a dinner and have like a breakfast for dinner and do some scrambled eggs and sausage or bacon and some fruit or vegetable. Another breakfast item that I never did, and I could do one of these for a breakfast or you could do it for a dinner, but are these protein pancake mix. I got it because I really wanted to try this, and I never actually meal planned out when I was going to use it, so it's just been sitting in my pantry. So again, I'll probably do either a breakfast for dinner, or on a Saturday I will just make this as a breakfast. Oh my goodness, I just found this sucker sitting on one of those shelves. My little one was eating it earlier and just left it there. All right, so the next one is going to be any snacks. This is going to help you use up snacks. If you're like me, and you either have kids or you do this yourself, where you will eat most of something but then leave a little bit left, and then you forget about it and you buy more snacks and you don't end up eating those things. What I find is a really good way is to take the rest of the snacks and just put them in a clear baggie. If you have reusable, you can use reusable, and just put all of those things, either crackers or if there's a little bit of cereal left, or oh man, I just made a mess. There's a little bit of cereal or whatever it is, put them in like a clear Ziploc bag. And then I love this snack storage for my kids. Snacks get eaten so well, and you know, I can put the ones that I want them to eat, healthier type things. I'll put some fun stuff in there like granola bars or whatever, but they will get eaten because they just come up to this little thing and they just grab a snack out of it. So they get eaten up so well. So I'll just place them in there and they can go and grab them, and it will make sure those things get eaten. Okay, next, make sure you are checking the bottom of your bins, if you have bins, or just like where things can fall and hide, because this quinoa pack, I used a little bit of it and it just kind of fell to the bottom of one of my bins and I forgot about it. So make sure you're finding that stuff that kind of like hides in your pantry or your freezer, and get that out and make a meal with it. So I'll just use this as a side and do some flavoring in it. I don't know if I specifically have a quinoa recipe that I like. And then I'll just do meat and vegetables and it'll be a simple dinner. Okay, next is find those items that are going to be expiring soon. So one item that I know is going to be expiring here pretty soon is this rice. I got like huge packs from Sam's Club and I have them stored in like the food grade containers and stuff downstairs, but this little bit is about to expire, so I know that it needs to be used up. So I'm going to try to do a lot of recipes with rice, probably a few a week, so that I can use it up by the end of February. And we have really been liking just doing some bacon bits and a little bit of butter and salt in our rice, and the kids eat it up. Next thing, I've got some like frozen fruit and spinach that I had frozen for or bought packages for smoothies, and I was like, I'm gonna like make myself and my kids smoothies every single day, and that didn't end up happening every day. So I'm going to actually put it on my meal planning and make them every day till it's used up. Next on the list are these 2 cans of pumpkin that were left over from the holidays. So I went in my pumpkin cookbook. Yes, I did just get a pumpkin cookbook because, you know, I wanted one. But I went into my pumpkin cookbook and I found a recipe for pumpkin bread, and my kids are home today, so we are going to make some pumpkin bread today. And speaking of bread, another thing that I have to use up is something that I preserved from my garden last year. I shredded and froze a bunch of zucchini specifically for making zucchini bread. So I am going to be making that also maybe next week after we finish the pumpkin bread. And then I'm going to try to make one probably like every 2 weeks so that we're not eating too much of it, but we can use it up before it's garden season this year. So this also goes along with me and gardening. If you don't garden, you can just find all of those frozen and canned vegetables that fruits and vegetables that you have, and go ahead and use those up. But if you do garden and preserve, then it is the time to use all that up. I think that's one of the main reasons why Three Rivers Homestead does the Pantry Challenge every year, is to use up as much as possible before the next growing season. So for me, on the can shelf, I do have salsa and jalapenos and peppers. I think those are the only canned things that I have. And then here in the freezer, I've got peppers, I've got a bunch of strawberry and raspberry freezer jam, I've got some corn left, I've got zucchini, I've got blueberries from my dad's garden. So all of that stuff I'm going to be looking at and shopping my freezer every single week to do my meal planning. So specifically freezer jam, my grandma gave me a lot of good ideas on how to use freezer jam. I think you can probably use regular jam in the same way, but she likes to take a little dollop and put it in some yogurt. I love Greek yogurt, just plain or honey Greek yogurt, and it tastes delicious. I of course like to put it on like biscuits and toast and waffles and pancakes, and you can just use it for whatever. I think you can probably, I wonder if some would be really good on vanilla ice cream as a treat. And the last thing is just making sure you shop your pantry and your freezer before you make your grocery list and your meal planning. Just go in there, see what meats, what vegetables, what fruits, what like dinner and side items and snacks and breakfast things and lunch things. All of that stuff, I mean, it's good to do on a weekly basis no matter what time of year it is. But when you're specifically doing a pantry challenge and you're really trying to declutter and use up as much as possible, going in there and really digging and trying to get as much stuff used as possible is awesome. It helps you declutter your pantry and your freezer by using up the items and not wasting them, and it also saves you money. I really hope that you enjoyed today's video and gave you a lot of ideas. Let me know down in the comments if you're participating in a pantry challenge this year and one recipe that you like to make. Thank y'all so much for watching, and I hope that you have a wonderful day.